Right, we are in. We are online. We've just got home. Welcome back to VP4 TV. It was always going to be a case I would miss the start of this match, but we've not missed an awful lot. This is a one-loss side match in the 2022 Cowboy World Championship. Mr. Bill on 27, Fast Eddie on 45, so there's a long way to go. Good afternoon to semi-pro. I'm going to be slipping my coffee until I've finished it. Welcome to Bav. -2 it is in Glasgow when I get into the car. -16 in Braemar this morning. It's get mild at the weekend though. I've seen the forecast. The cold snap's going to probably finish at the weekend. Well, unfortunately, unfortunately I had to go to bed last night, and I made the right decision because I still didn't get enough sleep, and I missed the end of the match between Spud Boy and Tommy. I've seen the final result. Slim streamed the rest of it, and I haven't had a chance to go and look at it. But well, from what I've seen up until the time I went to bed, Spud Boy was holding his own for a big part of it. And obviously Tommy came through in the end. So that's going to be a difficult pot into a blind pocket. Welcome to Vertical Liquid. Now just a sec while we go to the home page. Because we've got this match on at the moment. Well, I had a little update from a VP4 there. I need to go and look at the support page and see what it was. I had a download when I came online there. We've got Jose and One Pocket Slim. They're due to go at 5 PM. And then we've got Hervey and Bankster at 6 PM. And that'll be the remainder of matches for today. The last match on the schedule there's for Monday at 7 PM, a one-loss side match between VP Monster Crazy Cow against Bedhead. So Bill takes the lead. Playoffs are the 7th of January, aren't they, according to the tournament page or the league page. Now I'm just going to do another quick tab because I want to go and look at this support page and see what the change log says. Fix bug in Cowboy where after 101-100 score the pickpocket would show on start of next game. I never noticed that. I don't think that's a regular bug. I've never noticed it. So Bill's on a nice little run here of 27. Again, he's going to have to play the little stunt. Welcome to Dwight. And he's reasonably good to keep going here. I think he wants to stay below the one where he's got a, well, it might not be quite as good a line. It's not that great. There's a danger here if he goes to play the 5 ball. I think he's safer going for the 3, believe it or not. Well, he's got it dead weight, and he's still got a ball alive. Probably pot the 5 and come around for the carom from the 1 to the 3. Unless, again, a lot of players don't want to run the cue ball too much, but that'll work. And when you play the carom, you're just basically hoping you hit it right so that you don't kill a ball and make it awkward. You're trying to always leave yourself on a pot. Going top side of the 3 to come onto the 1, and that'll do it. That's nice. The run goes to 40 and he's on 80. And again, the alarm bell should be ringing, because whenever you're getting close to that score, you always have to pay attention to the HUD before you make the ultimate cardinal sin in Cowboy, and that's go over the score. Run goes to 42. Total goes to 83. See, now there's a problem, and this is what can happen. It can kill you stone dead. So he's on 85. And, I mean, this will cut into the top left-hand corner, but I think you just pick the angle and guess. That won't get there. But it is a good contribution, and the most important of all is he's kept his points. So, Eddie has to come up with a response fairly rapidly here before Bill gets well into these caroms. I'm finally beginning to warm up. I put the heating on when I get home, and it's absolutely freezing. Hence why I'm still finishing off my coffee. Well, I think it would be an important statement here from Eddie if he actually got to 91st. It's always good to send a message to your opponent that you're here to play a match, and this contribution could go a long way to doing that. Now the angle I think he's got, he looks as if he's coming back. Yeah, he's used the rail, which is right enough. Now has he got a shot though? Yes, he does. Doesn't need to do much with the cue ball. I think he maybe wants to come off the rail and up the table slightly rather than just rolling it dead weight to the short rail. He needs to get up the table a little bit. Just let the cue ball take its natural path. See, he's a wee bit short, but he's still fine. I mean, this is easy to hit this 3 ball from the long rail, short rail, and kick into the 3. He doesn't need to blast it either. Once again, he's just also hoping that he keeps the 3 ball alive. Oh, would you believe it? He's actually missed it. I mean, it's such a big target, that 3 ball. How did he get into that gap? Look at that. There's barely a ball's gap to get behind that 3 ball, and he found it. That's amazing. And it's also a fail as far as the target that we set Eddie. He had to get to 90 there. And now Bill is into the caroms. And the first one's, well, I thought he would play the forced follow and punch that 5 ball around the table. That's what I would have been more inclined to do, to try and get it near a ball, rather than just hitting the edge. Now you see, that's sort of left Eddie off the hook there, because you know, Bill's contribution was just the 6, only 1 carom, and Eddie's got another chance here, and he could be in the lead here by the end of this visit if things go according to plan. And he's got the forced follow as well, I think. Just right, there's going to be 1 or 2 more slips and then I'll get this finished. Well, he didn't. Obviously, must have been tighter than it looked. Right, that is the coffee consumed. And nothing is left easy here for Bill. So it's a 3rd chance here for Eddie to get to 90. I'm not going to say anything else. Well, the line from the 5 ball will take him down into the kitchen, but it's a good line to get from the 5 to the 3. So he doesn't have to work the cue ball very much here, just pot the 5. See, he hasn't really run far enough there. He's well, unless he's made his mind up he's playing the 5-3, but to me it was easier to guarantee the 5-1. But that'll do. As long as you get it, it doesn't matter. But the dead set carom was the 1 to the 3 ball there. And now he's got a choice both ways here. And this is always good where you have a choice, so you've got one decision to make, what one you go for. And of course that's Eddie now into the caroms, and that 3 ball I think is going to go dead. Yes, it has. Well, let's have a look at what his options are. Yeah, got the side to work there, or the right English. Well, the one thing I like about Bill is he doesn't like to hang about either. Playing Cowboy, to me it's much more enjoyable getting into it. If you spend too long thinking over a shot, I mean the shot's either on or it isn't. And to me, you don't need an awful lot of thinking if you've played the game often enough. And Bill's played a wee bit of it. Now and again, he's played Cowboy. And he's quite happy to just go on with it and play shots. No hanging about. No 4-hour match. I don't know how long Slim streamed last night after I went to bed, but I'm imagining it probably went for another 90 minutes at least, that match. The one with Spudboy and... no, I've totally forgotten who he was playing. Who the hell was he playing? Tommy? So Eddie's run is 23. And he's got the lead. Only 2 points. And Bill's got an easy start here. Now, I think... Now, see that shot that he's played there, that was actually just what I was about to say. He wants to hit that 5 ball thin on the top side of it so that he can go 5-1, and that worked out perfect. And I think he can go 5-3 here. Let's have a look. Well, maybe it's not quite as comfortable. You could easily miss the 5 and get into the side pocket. He's going to play the little stun out, and that's shaping up very nice here for Bill. An easy force follow onto the 1. And this 3 ball will be coming back across on a similar line. And he can possibly go 5-3, but it depends how vigorous he wants to hit this 5 ball, whether he wants to take a risk in running it around and trying to bring it back into play, or whether he just... Yeah, well, he's sent the 5 around, and that's given him his next carom, you see. He's got a shot where I think he can go to the rail just past the side pocket and chip that 5. He's just looking at the line off the 1 ball, because I don't think you need any spin. You just have to get the line off that 1 ball. And that is the advantage of playing that previous shot with a bit more power to send the 5 ball around the table, because you're always trying to bring that ball back into play to help you to progress and keep your caroms going. He's on a run of 6. And he may well be out here, because look at the way... This is Christmas for Bill. And the only worry now is that he's aware that he's in 98, and he's got to play a carom that gets this 1 ball out of there. And I think he needs to be a wee bit vigorous with this. And that, again, Bill's thinking... At least he's got the 1 into play. He can go into the top right-hand corner pocket as we look. Well, he says crap, but it's actually not that bad. I mean, he's just got to have faith in the line that he's picking. I mean, look, put it this way, he can see 3 pockets, which is a lot better than not seeing any pockets. What the hell happened here? If I went out of sync in my brain here, I thought Bill was in 99. Well, you guys that are watching must be paying more attention than I am. Did he not get a hit there? I'm looking at the chat and looking around him, and I look back, he's back in 91. I missed the bloody shot. And this also happens when you don't get your afternoon nap. After having had something to eat literally 20 minutes ago, the old brain goes in shutdown mode for half an hour. Well, this has got Eddie corner hooked. Obviously has to play out the kitchen, and you never know what will happen here. I know what I would do. I would go 3 rails around the table into them. Going up and down, it's easy to put a bit of spin in the cue ball and miss them completely. I would have let that cue ball just run around the table and come into those balls. But anyway, Eddie's still got a 2-point lead. Oh, well, that couldn't have been any closer. Now, looking at the one ball, I think there's a natural angle off that one ball to go thin off it, off the top rail, the short rail, the long rail on the side, and come down here and kick the 5 and play the 3-railer. Eddie's trying to go the short route. So he hit 2 caroms, right? I've got you now. Oh, now. This is a dinky little shot. He can go from the 1 and try and kick in behind these 2 balls. I don't think he wants to get to them direct. But he could also go to the long rail and just drop in onto the 5 and 3. And that'll work. And now he can bank the 5, I think. Can he bank the 5? And just still play the carom? Maybe not. No. And this is where it gets dicey. Now he could play for the double kiss here. I think he sort of partially got a double kiss there. It doesn't matter. The 5's in play. That takes him to 96. Now he can go from the 3 to the 5. I mean, he looks as if he's possibly drawing back to the rail to kick in behind the 3. And he could maybe go 2 rails again, cut the 5, come this way and come into the 3 that way. He could play it with a bit of spin to get to the 3 that way, and he could also go 3 to the 5 off the rail. So I think the 3 to the 5 an easier shot. But if he's thinking about a follow-up here, he might not have much of a follow-up, depending how heavy he hits the 3 ball. It takes him on to 98. Now let's have a look from this angle, see what I would do. Well, the danger here is trying to overcut the 3 to get to the 5 off the 2 rails, because you might end up banking the 3. You've got to be careful how you hit this. Yeah, he's managed to get it to the short rail first rather than putting it to the long rail. And now it's dicey. I mean, you could always bash this and give it a stun to get to the 1 ball. It's just the fact that when you hit the back of that one like that, that almost scratched. But that does take him on to 100, and he's got visibility on the side pocket and in the bottom pocket as we look. Now, has he called this bottom right pocket? I think he's changing his mind. Yeah, that's the one I'd be going for. Because again, you don't need to do anything with the cue ball. You don't have to put any sort of spin on it. You're just looking at how thick you hit that 1 ball. Now he's going to the side. I still think this is a much wider margin of error with the right pace to cheat that pocket into the corner. This is the much more open pocket. Yeah, he's actually getting into the cue ball too much. See, that's getting into the cue ball to try and get there, whereas the shot that I'm talking about, had he gone off the 1 ball down into the pocket, all it is how thin you hit the 1 ball. So, Bill has a bit of a lifeline, and that might have worked out nice for him, because he'll hit the 3, go to the rail and just chip the 1. And this could be an immediate response from Bill here if things fall into place. Now that 1 ball needs to keep going. It needs to keep going. If it had ran further up the table, he would have had pretty much a cast iron carom to follow. Now he's got to move the cue ball. Well, you can. I mean, there is a fairly safe shot off the one ball. He's not looking at it, but the shot off the one ball is that to come down there to the 5, because the 5's quite a big target, and I'm surprised he didn't go for it. He's just decided he wasn't risking anything and keeping his points. But I would have went the 1 to the 5 down that route. So Bill on 95. Eddie again has visibility on 3 pockets. And the thing is, the shot that he's playing here, he's going to be punching that one ball up onto the short rail and back down towards the 5, I think, with this shot. And if he doesn't get out, Bill may well have an easy starter here. Oh, he's trying to go really thin. And he might have left nothing here for Bill other than the 1 to the 5. I think he's locked out on the force follow, but the 1 to the 5 is there. And now he didn't want the 1 to go. Well, he's actually missed a 5. I can't believe that either. I mean, he's probably almost scraped the paint in that ball. But at least he's left nothing on here for Eddie. But there is a shot. Now the shot is left English off the edge of that one ball. Left English in the cue ball to get it punched to the rail and then run it down into this corner pocket. Now, did he call the side pocket? Because if he did, that's a brilliant shot. No, he didn't. The corner pocket in the bottom here was the shot to play, but he needed to put left English on it. So Eddie said, how many goes has he had at the one ball so far? Or the outshot? 3, is that 3? Where's this one ball going now? Now, this is where Bill needs to be careful, because that one ball is in a handy spot. If this cue ball finishes anywhere up top of the table, it's going to be a chance for Eddie. I'd be more inclined to actually cut that one ball to the rail and send it towards the 5 just as a sort of safety shot. But this might work as well. Yep, that'll do. And Bill trying his damnedest here to get out. The one ball is still sitting there in that dangerous spot, but it's going to be good for him if he could manage to get himself to 100. Needs another 2 caroms. Well, Bill's trying to draw onto that 3 ball. So here goes Eddie again. Now let's see what I would... I mean, instinctively, when you look at the shot, see if we can get ourselves round here. What would I be playing here? I think I'd be playing into the side pocket with a force follow like that. Oh, I think he's just catching the knuckle. Yeah, it's gone. So Eddie finally gets himself out. And obviously I missed the start of this match, but Eddie was stuck back there in 70 while Bill was on the brink of the caroms on 85, and Eddie had a couple of goes at trying to beat Bill to the caroms, and then he eventually got there, and in the end he sort of pinched the rack slightly. Bill had the advantage early on. Eddie will be more than happy with that result. The thing is when you play the deft little dinky carom like that, you're then leaving yourself a tough pot to follow up. And this cue ball coming down to the bottom of the table, he's pretty much guaranteed he's got the next carom though. And so now everything is recovered. Well, I'd be going 1 to the 5. Because you know you're sending the 1 to the right hand side and you'll have a pot in the 1 guaranteed. But he's hit the 5 firm enough that he's brought it down into play anyway. Getting in line behind the 1. Again, following the basic rule that I've set, get yourself below the 1. When they're on their spots especially, it gives you that choice. Now Eddie's quite happy with these force follows at distance. He's picking the line. They're not a gimme. Sometimes you deceive yourself thinking you need a little bit more offline to get the cue ball on track, and some days it falls into place and other days you just miss them by an edge each time. And he's working here with this 5 ball. The run goes to 19. And this time with the 3 ball being off its spot and being a bit more distant, it's the 1 to the 5. And probably the best thing now is to use the rule the other way. Pot the 3, get it on its spot and stay top side of the 3. I mean, he can come out into the table for the 5-1, but if he stays top side of the 3, he's going to give himself a choice. Would you believe it? He's missed the pot in the 3. I think again, now we've seen a couple of mistakes made like that in the streams that we've done, where I think we saw one last night, it might have been Tommy that played it, where the pot was so easy that the player takes his eye completely off the pot and more concerned about where the cue ball's finishing for his next carom. And you'd never see them missing pots like that, but Eddie's missed what looks like an absolute sitter in the 3 ball, but you know why he missed it, because he's more interested in where the cue ball was finishing for the follow-up shot. The question now is what punishment is Bill going to inflict on that? He's still got to get rid of the deficit. And now he's got a... I don't know whether he can see enough of that 3 ball. Can he? He must. Well, maybe not. Excuse me. Well, that looks a bit tight to me. I would cut to the chase and play the cut in the 1. And all you don't want to do is finish parallel to the 1 and 3 either side. You want to stay top side. He's overcut it. And so Eddie's coming to the table still with a lead, which is always a big bonus. When you make that mistake that Eddie made, you're dreading what you're going to end up coming back to the table with, and when you see your opponent just getting like whatever it was, 6 or 8 points there, you know you've been let off the hook. And now it's all in Eddie's hands as to what the total's going to be here, what sort of lead he's going to develop. Now, the only thing I never looked at, well, he's got an easy carom to follow here. Let's just have a quick look at the bracket. If I can get back to it, that is, because I want to see who do these 2 guys possibly play next. Where the hell are they in this bracket? Now, why can't I see this? Oh, there we are. That's why I can't see it. I wasn't high enough up. So, Right, the winner of this match will play the winner of Woody and Redback. Now, I'm going to stick my neck out here and say Woody should win that comfortably. I think he's far too strong for Redback. And he should be strong enough opposition for either of these two. So it's not a cakewalk either side of this bracket now, because you're going to get players coming over from that winner's side. The bracket is broken. In what way is it broken? I never noticed anything. What have I missed? The scores are there. Ah. What Tam's match last night? Let's have a look. Where is it in the bracket? Oh, aye, that's weird. No, hang on. It is broken. Who's that? Who? I wonder if Steve's noticed that. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, there's a name missing there. In fact, is that Tam in all of those three bits of the bracket there? That's Tam in those three spots in the bracket. I wonder if Steve knows about it. I'll message him. I'll message him after this match and see whether he's awake yet, and see if he knows about that. So Eddie back at the table. Bill floundering around there on 13, and Eddie can take a big advantage here if he can put something together just to add the pressure to Bill. So pot in the one, he's going to be above the kitchen line here, I would think. And out to the left as we look. So it's going to be a longer distance shot, but he just needs the feather edge of the one ball, or if he's comfortable with the long distance force follow, he can play that. But the feather edge means that he's not pushing the one ball towards the pocket. He's quite happy with the force follow at distance. They've all worked for him. I don't think he's missed one. The ones I've seen. He might have missed one, but you can be forgiven for that at distance. Well, he's hampered by the 5, isn't he? Trying to pot one of those balls up the table. He's going to go for the bank. Oh, he ended up getting a double kiss, and boom, there you go. Boom, bang, and there goes the 14 points. And that's how strange things can happen in this game. Amazing, isn't it? I mean, you'd never have thought he'd get a double kiss there like that. I think he clipped to one ball on the way up and then straight into the hole. And Bill's been given a lifeline early on here. He's coming to the table. Okay, he's got a deficit, but he can very quickly eat into that. I think he would have liked to have hit that 5-ball full in the face there to push it towards the pocket. He's still got the cut. Much more advantageous to get that 5-ball on its spot. Because now he's landed plumb perfect for a little force follow. And if he rests the 3-ball, he can probably pot the 5 next. And work with that 5 to get this deficit reduced a lot more rapidly than just messing about with the 1-ball all afternoon. This is a little bit more tricky. And he's also got the bonus of the 5-ball again. Well, I know what I'd be doing. This would be getting dropped in totally dead weight, just to keep that cue ball in the kitchen. In behind the 1 like that. That's perfect. That's exactly what you should be doing there with that 1-ball. Just dropping it in and staying there, so that you've got a sight up table. I mean, those sort of shots should be fairly obvious when you've played Cowboy. You just want to leave yourself in that spot in the kitchen, and the only mistake you ever make, and we've all done it, is just going too straight behind the 1-ball. Oh, he's messing with the side pocket. And now he might be in trouble. He might be able to squeeze this. Yes, he has. Just managed to get it. So the run is 28. Now, again, he's in trouble. He's going to have to pull off a pot. It's really thin to be cutting the 1-ball. And if he pots the 5, he doesn't want to get into the cue ball too much. And he's went for the bank. And again, first priority is keep your points. He's got a slight lead. And Eddie's going to have to probably pot the 3 and leave the 5-1. No real reason to worry about keeping the cue ball top side of the 3, because the 5-1s are pretty much a gimme. Oh, hang on a minute. I thought he was lining up the pot there in the 3-ball. I thought he'd lost track of where he was. Had me panicking there. And once again, he has a choice. If he pots the 1, he can go top side of the 1 outside the kitchen. If he pots the 5, he wants to just stay down this line. And that'll work to go 5-3. And the 5 will be back in play as long as it doesn't go stone dead in the rail. Probably play the same sort of shot again here. Just get out into the table and leave the edge of that 5 on the left side down onto the 3. Now this is just where you take again enough of the edge of the 5. What's he doing? He's drawing this. He didn't need to do that. There was no way he had to do that. He could have just run that nice and gentle, and he would have still made it. He took a risk there. Any other day, if it was Tam last night, that cue ball would have been in the pocket. And this is not a bad setup. The run is 19. Bill 13 in the lead. Oh, sorry, Fast Eddie. Oh dear, the yawning started. Well, this is a gentle little dink in the 3 ball. If he's going to pot it, he's got a bit more angle on the 3 ball than he would really like. And if he's potting a 5, he's got to work this cue ball. Oh, he didn't really work the cue ball very much, did he? He's going to have to hit this firm. Yeah, got the line right. Well, once again, if he just concentrates on the pot and the 5 ball and lets the cue ball take its natural path, he's going to have a 5-1 to follow up. He doesn't need to do anything major with the cue ball. Just let the cue ball take its natural path and he'll have a 5-1. And the 1 ball's a huge target in the right rail. You don't have to do anything fancy, no acrobatics with the cue ball, just pot the ball. Now, you see, again, he's thinking there about getting behind the 3 ball top side. He didn't need to. You just look at where the path of the cue ball's going there, and Eddie's taking his eye off the ball there because the ball was there. The cue ball was going to go off the 5 and go down sort of there, and then you had the 5-1 onto the side rail. You could never miss the 1 ball. It was so big on the rail. And I think that was a wrong choice of shot there by Eddie. There are times where you do want to stay above and below the 3 ball and the 1 ball, but that wasn't the time. If he just saw the line that the cue ball was tracking, he was always going to have the 5-1. Now, can Bill take advantage of that? Eddie might live to regret that in a few minutes. Well, here we go with the long distance force follow, and that's what happens. You just take a tiny fraction too much, and they're so easy to miss. Eddie's the one that seems to be more comfortable. He's picking the line in those long caroms or the long force follows. And so Eddie has been let off the hook again, still with a lead coming back to the table. Now everything's at distance here. If he pots the 5, he's going to leave his next follow-up carom at distance. Well, this he can go the edge of the 5-1. He doesn't need to do the force follow. And he's potted the 5 as well, and that 5 ball's coming up onto the spot. Now, is he blocked off here? I think he might be alright. Let's have a look. Oh, he's fine. Tell a lie, he's on a pot anyway, plus the 1 and 5 are set for the next carom. And Eddie should be in 90 and beyond here. My ball comes back around. Well, that little kiss on the cue ball hasn't done him any harm. All he's got to worry about now is whether he's going to leave the long distance force follow from the 5 to the 3, or whether he's going to try and get up into a line from the 5 to the 1. Let's see what he does. Well, he's drawn back. I think that was a bit risky, but in actual fact, though, it's landed perfect. A risky shot, but he who dares wins in this game. Takes him on to 88 and the 1 ball still in play. And this is shaping up nicely here for Fast Eddie. Now again, probably good to stay in the kitchen here with this cue ball. And that's good. Well, he could have done with coming out a wee bit further. He just got to get this line right, whether it be the 1 to the 5 or the 5 to the 3. 5 to the 3 looks a bit narrower a gap between the two, so it's the easier one to hit. And that takes him into the caroms. You know what we haven't done for a while? We haven't done one of them. A top-down view. Well, again, it's a big target, the 5 ball, but it's so easy to just squirt out behind it. And this 3 ball will be taking a line down towards the 1 ball direction. If he plays the shot that he should be playing, which is the one he's about to play now. I thought he'd be hitting it thicker to sort of bank it up the table and get to the 5. See, he's missed it. So Bill has his chance. A long way behind. Well, this is maybe the opposite of the first rack, where Eddie was behind. And you know, Bill was knocking on the door of the caroms. Eddie was behind in 2 or 3 goes. Oh dear. Well, that was a bad one from Bill. Only 9, I think, on that visit. And the worst thing as well is he set Eddie up straight away. Now, is he going to draw to? I mean, why not draw off the 5, the 3 ball, and try and spin into the rail and kick the 1? You're letting things run loose here a little bit, but that would be the shot to get the 1 ball out of there. Yeah, that's what he's doing. It's risky because you're running that 3 ball, but oh, I don't think he's got it. I think the 3 ball got to the 1 first. Yes, it has done. I think if he'd been a bit more vigorous with the action, the cue ball would have got to the 1 ball first before the 3. So this is another chance for Bill, just exactly like the last rack. Eddie's down there on 92. Once again, pot the 3. Get yourself up top. Now that 3 ball needs to get out of the way. Well, that makes his mind up. He's got to cut the 1, but once again, just cut the 1 and stay in the kitchen. And I think that will do nicely. Oh dear, Bill's struggling. He's struggling. He's trying to keep up his pace. He's not, he's not trying to break his rhythm. But maybe a second or 2 longer over that shot, he would have got that. So once again, it's only 9 from Bill. And he's, well, Eddie's got a similar shot again to the last one. He can go 5 to the rail on the right side and kick the 3. And he's going for the old heave-ho draw. Look at the cue ball that's going to get pushed into the hole with the 5 ball. Unbelievable. He should have went to the rail. See, this is where players have this reluctance to go to the rail. If he'd drawn to the rail with a bit of spin, he could have spun off that long rail just to the bottom of the side pocket there and punched into the 3. And Bill, with yet another opportunity to get into the caroms. And it might well be that Eddie pays the price for that, and Eddie maybe pinch this. Bill might pinch this. Welcome to LS3. Oh, this is going to go dead straight, is it? No, he's okay. He can actually play that 5 ball, and he's going for the draw, but I'm pretty certain he can play the 5 ball and still catch the 3, but he's bailed out and he's gone over the 90, and that's what can happen. And there we go, back to 74. He should have played my shot. I think he would have caught some of that 3 ball. You've just got to get it accurately to miss the 3 with the 5 ball on the way up. And when you start running the balls at this awkward point in the rack where he was on the verge of 90, he's back to square one. Nothing exactly easy here for Eddie to get going, but he can overcut the 3 ball and go 2 rails to the 1. Oh, he's played the stun. Again, running the 3 ball. It's going to stay in the table though. Mind you, there are points where you just have to take risks and let that ball run. If it goes in the hole, then you know you've paid the price for it. But if you get away with it, it might be your opportunity to nick another few caroms to get closer to the finishing line in this rack. This must be the 4th time that Bill's been at the table trying to get to 90. And once again, unbelievable, he's missed a 3. I mean, he's missing these by a hair's breadth each time. Every other day they would be hitting him. Now, why has Eddie got loads of English in the cue ball? Is he trying to come off the rail and get to the 3 from this angle? I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. This looks like a trying to change the laws of physics, Captain. Now he looks as if he's looking at overcutting the 1, but I don't think he can get the 1 ball out of the way to try and chip across and get the 5. And the 3 ball's awkward where it's sitting to try and work off the 3 ball. So I think he might be going for the 5 ball here. Well, he's not put any weight in the shot. He was never going to get there. Needed a bit more juice in it than that. But the line was good. So, deja vu for Bill. Well, this time Bill's actually got a carom. And I think he's blocked himself off in the 1 ball as well. So it was never going to go smoothly. Look at that. He's going to have to chip it in. And of course, he's chipped it over the hole. Well, at least Eddie can't work with that one. Well, the safest shot here is to go to the stun to the side rail and spin into the 5 from the left-hand side. Or go to the bottom rail. See, that's the dangerous shot. Well, he's ended up potting the 3 anyway. But the safest shot was to go off the left side of that 3 ball as we look and go to the long rail on the left and go to the bottom rail and kick into the 3. Or the 5, I should say. I think it was a 5. Well, Bill's going at snail's pace in terms of scoring in this rack. At some point, he's eventually going to get to 90, and then it's anybody's game. This is a little tricky one. Now, what's the spin like in the cue ball? It's coming back inside. He's on 83. Now, if he pots the 5, he's got a fairly simple 5-1. Now, he's looking at potting the 1, but to me, I'd be potting the 5. I wouldn't be bothered about the 1. I'd be potting the 5 because you can work the 5 to the 1. I mean, all you're doing is just stun the 5 in. He's going top side of the 3, I think. No, he's not. He has. That'll do. That's pretty much where I was thinking. See, he's just caught the 5 a wee bit thicker, with a bit more weight than he needed to. He can still pot the 5. Now, he's on 89, of course, isn't he? That's the problem. I'm losing track of the scores here. So he's just, well, he tried to pot in the 1, but it was never easy. And once again, Eddie's not been left anything that inviting here to get going. Bill is breathing down his neck. But this is a test of your creativity as well. This is where you've got to visualise shots. And then, of course, then execute them if you can. That was the right idea. And Bill now, well, he's going to pot the 1 ball. 1 ball goes on its spot down this end of the table where the 3 ball is. Now this is where he has to be careful again. He has to look at where the potting angle is on that 1 ball because he doesn't want to be potting the 1 or the 3. And now it's the race to the finishing line. Well, just cut the 3 ball to the side rail, go to the short rail in the bottom and kick into the 1. Well, he hasn't got the spin in the cue ball to do that though. And Eddie's got an easy enough starter here. Now has Eddie gone? His cue has gone. I think Eddie's, oh no, there he is. I thought for a second he'd left the building. Well, just the one carom from Eddie. Bill's going to draw into the 5 here off the 3. And that's not a bad shot. He can go onto the 1 off the 5. I think that, let's have a look. How does it know? It doesn't look that good. It's not until you get down there and you see it's not that inviting, but he had the backup shot. Again, this has gone awkward. And this is where you've got to pick enough of the edge of that 1 ball to get to this rail and get the line to the 3. And that's well done. And now he's got to watch the pot in the 1. And that's not good where he's sitting there. That 1 ball is dicing with the side pocket here to get to the 5 off it. Now, he could, let's have a look. I think he could play a force follow where he's pushing the 1 to there and the cue ball's going to the 5 like that, like he's just sort of done. And this is not bad either. Now, I think the thicker he hits this 1 ball, the better for his cause. He doesn't want to, I don't think he wants to, well, if he glances it right side, depending how heavy he hits it, he might still have a 1 to the 5. Oh, he's missed a 5 ball. Well, he'll be relieved at the fact that he's actually hit the 1 and hit the rail as well, and didn't lose his points. But Bill finds himself in the lead. Oh, the 5 ball's almost dead. Oh, this might be handy. That is very handy. And this is a great opportunity for Eddie to try and get a 2-0 lead here. Well, if you play the 3 ball around the angles, not too heavy, and draw to the 1, you can try and bring this 3 ball back into play. And where's the 3 ball going? The 3 ball is fine, and this, if it bounces and comes out, oh, now, well, he's got to get a bit of left spin on this cue ball and hit that 1 ball reasonably thick, I think. I think that's the right line he's got here. He might want a wee bit of left on it, or depends how much of the 3 ball he wants to take. He's not putting anything on it. This could come off the top side of the 3 and go near the hole. I would be putting a bit of left spin on it and trying to get the 3 going that way. He's got a tiny feather on it now, and that's a shot. Although it's finished a wee bit ugly, and the fact that he's also hooked in the 1. But the objective here is to hit the 1 and not lose his points, whatever he does. That's the one thing he has to do. Now, if he could have seen that one there, if the 3 ball wasn't there, and Eddie was going to call that top left-hand corner pocket where the 5 is, then he had to make sure the cue ball goes in clean, because he can't use the 5 ball to go in off. That's a foul. It's not a clean scratch. But anyway, he's kept his points. That's all that matters. And he's going to have a standard out shot here for Cowboy off that right side of the 1 ball as we look into the hole. And there's no spin needed or nothing. It's just how much of the 1 ball you take. And it's reasonably thin. And it's 2-0 to Fast Eddie. And it's a long road back for Bill. And I'm going to take a little break for a minute or two. I'll be back in a few minutes. Well, I didn't want to tell you all where I was going, but I had to go and see a man about a dog. So what have I missed? Well, it's pretty much neck and neck in this third rack. But of course, it's every rack now is the point of no return for Bill. Welcome to Mark. Minus 12 in Braemar at the moment and dropping. It was minus 6 in Glasgow when I got there today, and when I left at 2 o'clock and got into the car, it was minus 3, so it never got anywhere near above freezing, which I think is the same for most places around the country today. At the moment here, it is at 4:25. The last time it did an update, it's minus 4. And it's to get milder at the weekend, so the weather's to break at the weekend. The frost will be gone. That's the end of our cold snap, and I've already looked at Christmas Day for us, and we've to get rain, according to our long distance forecast. So it won't be a white Christmas here. No, I'm off to once I do my shift tomorrow, Slim. Then I'm off for 2 days. I've only got a short shift tomorrow. I finish at 9:45. Well, Bill's already trailing again. Now, welcome to Night Owl. Night Owl Benny is that. Now, who the hell is Night Owl Benny? I've never seen that name before. Welcome. Well, has Eddie got enough game in him to see this out, or is Bill going to battle his way back in it? By the way, Slim, I forgot to ask, how long did that match last after you started streaming it? Because I've not seen it yet, although I do know the result. It must have went on for another 90 minutes, at least, and there is no way I would have been able to stay there to see the rest of that out. It must have lasted at least 3.5 hours. Well, Eddie's just creeping away that wee bit further. And each time he does, it just applies more pressure to Bill to produce the goods. And would you believe it, no sooner have I said that, Eddie's missed a 5-ball. Well, in what I saw of the match, I was very impressed with Spud Boy. I thought he played with good common sense, and he had pretty reasonable scoring when he did. It's just disappointing for him that he didn't take it all the way. Tommy won 3-1 in the end. I had to go to bed. I had to pull the plug at 10 o'clock. I was dead on my feet. And it was already looking like it could have been a really long night. I could never have stayed the distance. That's going to find a gap, would you believe it? And Bill's done that far too many times today. Any other day he hits them. But today he ain't hitting them. Well, anyway, Slim, thanks for doing the rest of it. I'll go and watch it. Well, if he wants to, he's got an easy bailout with the draw from the 5 to the 3. If he trusts his eyesight, he can try and skip an edge of that 3 ball. Yeah, still got it too thick. And again, it's let Bill off the hook again, but Bill's not getting an easy start here. I mean, he's got the 5 to the 3 from long distance. Is he going 5 to 1? Yeah, he's going side rail. And this time he's kicked the back of it. He's got the 5 in play. 5 will go in at the spot. Easy follow-up. Well, this is probably Bill's most important visit in this match. And in the whole context of it, he's 2-0 down. He's trailing. And he has to get himself in front. He must get to 91st, I believe, to have any sort of chance of at least snatching 1 rack back in this match. I can't believe that. I cannot believe it. He's done it again. He's missing these by a cigarette paper thickness. And he must have missed half a dozen of them. And he's still trailing by 1 point. And that's why Cowboy is so frustrating as well. You get days like this, you know, where you're just brushing past the carom and doing everything but hitting it. Well, I think the handy thing would be if the 1 ball goes into the side pocket, and it does, as does the 5. And it's not looking good for Bill. Eddie pots the 5, gets the carom, and moves on to 88. He's got the easy 1 ball. The 5 balls stays in the pocket because the spot's blocked. It comes back up now, and he's got another easy carom to get to 90. Well, he's not going the 1 to the 5. He's going the force follow, which he's been fairly comfortable with at distance. And the 5 ball is he's going a bit too thin. It would have been better if it stayed to the right of that first diamond. Now, he can let the cue ball run here and try and get to the 5. He can go to the rail and spin it down to the 5 if he wants. Off this 3 ball. The only danger is he's banking the 3 ball to play that shot. He could go right side of the 1, try and stun to the rail and kick in behind the 5 off the short rail. And he's... yeah, that's what he's tried. Well, this most certainly is last chance saloon for Bill. Eddie on 90. Bill 21 points behind. Well, it's got to be the 5 ball. And then more than likely a 5 to the 3, depending how he leaves this cue ball. And he's overcut it. And look what he's left Eddie to start with. Couldn't be any easier than that. I don't know why he's not banking the 5. If he banks the 5 up to the... sorry, is that the 5 that's down here? If he banks the 5 up the table and stuns to the 1, there's a chance that 5 might run into the 3 and set him up for another carom. You've just got to watch the pace you play it at. Oh, and you don't want to skim off the back end of the 1 like that. And Bill is going to have to play out the kitchen and pot the 3. But it is a lifeline for Bill. And Eddie's stuck in 90 these last 2 visits. But Bill now can't... well, he's fluked it. I think that might be the biggest fluke of the day for him. He'll take anything that's going. Now, can he brush this thin enough? Yes, he can. And it's finished awkward again. He's not sitting pretty here. It couldn't be getting any more awkward for Bill. And I can't believe he's actually... how can you hang the 5? What's keeping that ball out of the pocket? Well, I suppose there is a benefit of that. Eddie can't use the 5. He's limited to these 2 balls. And it's going to be tough to construct anything from it. Well, Eddie trying to get to the 3. Almost scratched. Bill, I think, was trying to get to have an open table there by caroming the 1 as well. And now it's finished really ugly again. And he's missed the edge of the 3. I don't think he hit the 3. No, he didn't. And this time he's not left anything as an easy start for Eddie. Well, I'd be going left side of the 5 ball off the 2 rails in behind the 3. I don't know what he's doing here. Is he trying to come off right side? Yeah, I think he was trying to do the 3 rails to get to the 1, and if the 5 ball hadn't bumped to 1 out the way, he may well have got that. Well, I think I've said last chance saloon maybe about 3 times, but this is it again for the 4th time. Where's the cue ball going? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh dear. It's turning into a bit of a nightmare the way these balls are rolling for Bill. Oh, I don't know. I don't think he got that either. And again, well, Bill, I think that the pot in the 5 is a bit awkward. I don't know whether he can chip the left-hand side of the 1 with loads of right English to get to the short rail and kick in behind the 3. He's trying to draw to it. Now, where's the 5 ball going to finish? Well, that'll do it. Just needs to come up the table slightly so he can play the 3 to the 1. I would have come up a bit higher though. So that takes him to 89. Oh, this is awkward. This is really awkward. He's not potting that. Tried the bank. And Eddie can go to the side rail and kick the 1. He doesn't want to kick the back side of the 1 or he'll scratch. But it is down to the pace of the shot though. If he plays it gentle enough, he's not going to scratch. He just wants to get the hit and no more. I don't think he wants to risk anything else. Again, it was a big target, that 1 ball. Managed to miss it on the other side of the 1. But of course, the cue ball finishes where Bill can't get an easy shot at the 1. Well, this is a 2-in-1 shot all day, every day of the week. You miss it, you get down for the 1. Oh, and he's just skimmed it. So the 2-in-1 shot worked that time. And he's got another one if he wants it. Same thing. Off that 3, get the spin working onto the 5 or down to the 1. And it worked again. And this time, everything's come into play there. Now, how thin? I think with this shot, I think you're maybe trying to send that 1 ball that way. So you just played it gentle. And once again, I would have played that a bit firmer to get that 1 ball up the table. Because you're trying to get that follow-up carom. I mean, you can still draw to the 3, I think. I don't think there's anything stopping him doing that. You've got to watch what line you're pushing this 1 ball on when you're trying to play that shot, though. I think he's going forward by the look of it. No, is he jacking up? Oh, I think he was worried about the pot. And again, Bill has no pot in the 1, but he's got to watch the double kiss in this 3 ball. So that takes him eventually, well, for the time being, he's on 90, unless disaster befalls him here. Oh, he's gone behind it. Again, he's found the gap. Now, Eddie, I think, can punch this one ball out the way. He can punch that one ball out the way. I'd go with a bit of left spin. And that'll do it. Now, where's the one ball finishing? Oh, it couldn't finish any better. Look at this. Oh, well, maybe it's gone a wee bit tough. Well, this is where you've got to have good eyes to play this shot. If I can get my bloody V button to work, where the hell's it gone? And he's just brushed it. And this will be even better if we can do this one, because this is this is not easy. Look at how thin that has to be to catch any of that 3 ball. He might end up just hitting the 3. Now, if he plays this gentle, he could end up losing his points. Yeah, I think he's doing the wiser move here. He's going to try and get it from 3 rails, maybe off the left-hand side of the 5, overcut the 5, and try and get this cue ball on a line down the left-hand side of the table. I don't think he's got much. I think the problem with that shot, it's all very well in theory, but when you look at the cue ball, he's limited in where he can get to the cue ball. He might not even have that shot. He might be trying to force it. Oh, he's gone up and down. That works. Oh, the double kiss as well has helped. That takes him to 97. He could be home and dry here. Trying a little dink. He might have too much angle on that. He's going to play the soft draw, but where's the 3 ball ending up? Oh, took a big risk. But it's worked big time. Well, if he gets a hit and doesn't move this 1 ball that far, he may well have the outshot. And can he get rid of the 1 ball? This for the match. I'm not quite certain that this is on. Yes, it is. Got it out of the way. Well, Bill just couldn't get there in all of those 3 racks. It looks an easy win, but it could have been so different for Bill. Every time he was missing those caroms by a hair's breadth, and Eddie was getting to the caroms first and getting himself that lead. And in the end, Bill just could not get himself really placed in this match. So well done to Fast Eddie. He goes through. We looked earlier at who his next opponent would be. This is probably updated now that I can't find it in the bracket. I think it's Woody or Redback, isn't it? That's who Fast Eddie will play now. As I say, there is a huge time zone difference between those two. Woody's in the UK and Redback, of course, in Australia. So I'm not even sure whether it will go ahead, because it probably won't, because Redback forfeited his first match, and he may well forfeit this as well. And it's more than likely that Woody is going to be playing Fast Eddie in the next round on the 1-loss side. So that'll be a good match-up between those two as well. Further down, Tommy, of course, has gone through last night. Larry went through against Acero, because that's a I never noticed that, but that's a forfeit. And then there's the matches that are set up. So final look at the bracket, not the bracket, the schedule. We have Irby and Bankster on Monday, and that is at 6 p.m. And I'll be starting with that match, but the main one to focus on will be the match between VP Monster, Crazy Cow and Bedhead. Both one-loss side matches. That one on Monday starts at 7 p.m, so I will be there for that. So that is it, folks. And that is it for today. Unlikely there'll be any more matches scheduled, so I will bid you good day, and I might go and have another coffee. Thank you for your company. Thanks to Slim for streaming the remainder of that match last night. Oh, the Jose match and Slim's underway. Well, I'm going to get dinner, so I won't catch that. I think that Slim is the favourite for that. I'll keep an eye on it when I get back. But I am really tired. And I mean, Jose can play when he puts his mind to it, but he probably will make too many more mistakes than Slim will. I think that's probably the pattern of that match. But anyway, good luck to the two of them. I will say good day to you, chaps and ladies. LS3 was there, and we will see you again soon.